Hey, what's going on, Archons? It's another episode of KeyThoughts, my weekly vlog. And this week, I got two things I want to talk about. The first thing is something I'm super pumped and excited about. And the second thing is going to be a bit of a rant. So, here we go. To kick things off, I want to talk about something that I want to spearhead in the coming week or two, and it is called AoA Opening Day. And it's basically with everyone getting new AoA decks from the great sales that have been going on. I want to have a little event where we get to play these in a very casual format. There's going to be no prizes, just an exploration of decks that you have. And the idea is you're not playing AoA decks that you have jammed tons. They're basically like almost never played decks, just open decks. You maybe played one game with it. The idea is you don't have much practice. What's going to have like kind of like a sealed feel to it. And the format, what I would like to do is a triad-like tournament. I talked about this on my stream yesterday. And the idea is you have 3 AoA decks. They are not played. You just open them. However you want to view that statement. We're going to go on an honor system. If you choose to play a deck that you know in and out and you can play really efficiently and well, you're kind of just ruining the event, because it's not about that. It's about getting to explore decks that you have not played before and have some fun AoA on AoA action. And the idea is with this triad, you have 3 decks. You must win 2 out of 3 games. Each individual game will be timed at 35 minutes, not a full allotment of time. It's going to be done individually timed. And how it works is once you win with a deck, you cannot play that deck again. There will be no banning. That is why it's triad-like, because there is no banning process. You just have 3 decks you can choose to play with, and whichever one you choose to play, you can just use it, and you can switch between rounds, all that sort of things, or in between games, as long as you don't play with a deck that's won twice. So out of your 3 decks, 2 of them have to win 2 games. That's how it works. And then the other side to this is, if you happen to have lost that round, you have the ability to swap out one of your decks and bring in another one from your AoA collection that you have not played yet or have very few reps with. And the idea is to have maximum opportunity to get to know and play and discover your AoA decks in your collection. Because some of you may have lots of AoA decks you've never even played from a year ago or so. And that's fantastic too. So those are all ways you can utilize your AoA collection and get to play it. And come up with your own little triad. And it could be simply you have a formula you want to do, or it could be I have never played these 3 decks, let's play it. Because there's no banning process. You don't have to think of it in the same strategic level as you have to do with triad. Because if someone bans and they have a matchup, all that sort of ideology where if you're playing one control deck, one rush deck, and one, let's say, a combo deck, and they have ways to deal with your controller combo, they can just get rid of your rush deck then, because they don't have that, and then you kind of are stuck where if you bring the ideology and try it is you bring 3 decks that are essentially the same archetype, then no matter what they ban, you're still executing your plan, so to speak. So that's going to be happening. I'll be putting some more stuff on Twitter to get a poll for a day. I'm thinking it's either going to be a weekday night on one of my stream days, or it will be on a Saturday or Sunday morning-ish, and we'll do the tournament that way, because I think we'll do a one-day thing. If people want to do it in a league format, we could do that, but I feel that's a little arduous. I'd rather have just like a fun day where we get to do it, and I hope everyone is interested in this. So if you are interested, hit me up on Twitter at Boulevard Blake, BLVD Blake. I did switch my handle to match my Twitter and my TCO. Or you can send me an email at boulevardpaperfight. That's BLVDpaperfight@gmail.com. So just let me know if you're interested from watching this and want to participate and you have some AoA you want to jam, and we can figure it out. I am definitely thinking a Saturday morning or Sunday will be the best, just because it allows some people in Europe to participate as well, because it'll be the evening for them, morning or afternoon for people in North America. So I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm leaning towards that. But we'll take a poll for the day and start saving those decks. And don't play them. Don't play your decks. That's the idea. Have these decks new, fresh, waiting to be discovered and played in a fun tournament format. This is going to be just a fun tournament, community being brought together, having a great time, great conversation, and some great KeyForge, hopefully. So that's the first part of this. And then my second thought is this is going to be a rant, all right? I'm gonna go into the negative zone, because I'm getting frustrated. The reason why I'm getting frustrated is I'm opening these AoA decks and I'm loving the discovery of some, And I love AoA, the essence of it, but it's getting so frustrating opening like deck after deck with the most minimal ember control like possible. Like I don't think I've opened so many consecutive decks where like I already know before I even open the deck just by seeing the houses there's going to be no ember control. There's a video I have that's going to be coming out in a couple days where you will literally hear my frustration when I open this deck. It is so frustrating to know that like there's this cool aspect, but at the same time nothing can be done to stop your opponent from forging keys. Like it is the most frustrating thing in the world, and I do not understand how there was such an oversight in in a set basically to have such minimal ember control at the common level in so many houses. Like I think in AO, if we go down, like Brobnar has very minimal control, especially at common level. Then next you have Logos has basically none. You have no, like Logos is probably the worst in the sense that the ember control it does have does not prevent your opponent from forging. It's more just stops them from kind of really running away. And I'm obviously talking about interdimensional graph and cutthroat research. And I guess fetch drones is there as well, but that is so situational. Not only so situational, but it's not a common card either. So there's that, and then you have Untamed, which has like nothing basically. I think you have Lifeweb, and that might be it in Untamed. Like the fact that Murmook did not exist within Untamed, I think Ritual of Balance might be in this one as well. So yeah, there's those two things, but yeah, it's unfortunate. And then as well, you have Dis does have the Ember control, but it seems like Lash obviously and Schuler's and Anguish, so that does have it, which is nice. It's not ideal, but it is a lot. Like I think Dis was the forerunner for what we saw become the key cost increase aspect of things. And of course Sanctum had it in spades, Shadows had it in spades. Mars is also light as well. Mars does have it, but it seems like so situational in the way it comes up. It is super not the greatest. So and then what other house am I missing here? Shadows, Dis, wait, I have a deck box right here. So we did Brobnar, we did Dis, we did Sanctum, Shadows, Untamed, Mars, Logos. Yeah, that's all of them. So essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 7 houses are lacking significant Ember control, especially at the common level. And I think that's been rectified since then, which is nice to see. There's a progression, obviously, but it's really frustrating that a set can have that. Obviously, there are decks that this is not true for, but it's kind of like the odds of you pulling a deck that meets this frustrating parameter exists. And with this also made me have another thought, is because the only way that this actually is frustrating is when your opponent is able to control you and it's not like a true race. So that's the thing. Like literally when you have one card in an entire deck that can take opponent off check and it's not even significant, like a Grok for example, that's a feels bad, and a lot of people disregard a deck based on that basis alone. So it's interesting that a whole deck can be written off just because of that. So if that's the case, then this needs to be addressed, which it has. We see it's not a thing of the way it used to be. It is now in the current set, especially in Mass Mutation. I feel like it's very rare you don't have Ember control in almost every house. So it's a really nice thing to see this progression. Like a learning of, okay, this didn't work out for this reason, let's make sure this exists now. And so that's fantastic, but it just makes that one set have the less desire to pull. You don't really want to just open random decks. I mean, when you have a sale like we had, you're obviously just going to do it, and it's frustrating because at the end of the day, the cost of that deck, it's not like a huge investment to have like even half the decks basically be duds because of that. So it is okay. But aside from that, I was thinking it would be a fun tournament to have, like, you have SAS caps and you have all these different things. What if you had an Ember control cap? So you were literally allowed a maximum of 3 cards in your deck that controlled Ember. Maximum. So if it's like a Frame, enters play, captures 1 Ember, that's Ember control. It's a Malazan, fight, capture, that's Ember control. You can only have 3 of them total. What if we had a tournament where that was the specification, is the deck could only have 3 cards, not a score, legitimately 3 cards, and it had to be approved before the tournament went on. And so it's literally a game of a race, like who can go faster and just not worry about controlling Ember as much. I think that would be a fun tournament. We'll call it the Formula 1 tournament, because it's going to be a race. So yeah, those are my thoughts for today. I want to know your thoughts about this, your experiences opening AoA, and what do you think of an idea of having a Formula One tourney where it's like who can race, Ember control is at an all-time low, and just seeing what happens, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe this tournament has already existed, I don't know. But it is something I want to explore, and it's not a score-based stat. It is going to be a card-based. How many cards in the deck? Like when I do my opening, I count cards and everything and give a score based on the individual cards, not on an actual metric of what's the value of those cards. So let me know what you think. And as always, I do appreciate those who do like and subscribe and have been tuning into my Twitch and comment on everything. It is much appreciated. And if you're interested in AoA opening day, if you don't want to send me an email, you can even comment below and I'll make a note and figure a way to reach out to you in that way so I can start getting a list of people interested. And hopefully it'll be a fun one. But until then, may your Ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.